Okay, next up is Brooklyn's Finest, and it seems as though cliches is a resounding theme this week. However, cliches having something done with them is also very present in this week's show and many of the films I've reviewed this week, and this is definitely one of them. This film draws the, story of impending doom among cops who really don't know much anything about each other, but yet they're about to meet under bad terms, and nothing good can come out of it. At first, I was rolling my eyes as we were introduced to Eddie, played by Richard Gere, a cop who's 1 week away from retirement. How many times have we seen that? But yet, as this film grew, I loved Gere's performance and his character. This is a more raw character than we're used to seeing Gere play. He's usually, the good-looking, hey, look at me, I'm resounding with personality kind of guy, but here, he's very toned down, and he's fantastic at doing it. He's a troubled individual with a seemingly underlying death wish. And yet his character is realistic, but because let's face it, he's in New York, one of the crime capitals in the world, and I don't think all cops are made of stone, believe it or not, like what some people may try to think. I think after seeing the things they've seen for years, it gets to them somehow. And they just can't handle it after a while. They hit a breaking point. It's like almost a descent into madness. And that's kind of what happens with Gere's character here, but not in a psychotic way. Anyway, the always spectacular Don Cheadle is nothing short of great here as Tango, an undercover cop who's now deep into the underworld. And of course, he is with Wesley Snipes' character known as Kaz. And they are both so well done. Their scenes together are just unbelievable. And now, I'm just blown away that Snipes had this in him. Here's a guy who's pretty much had a Mickey Rourke-like career, and yet he keeps up with Cheadle so well here that he almost steals the scenes from him. I've always liked Snipes as an entertainer. He's done some pretty good movies in the past, especially White Men Can't Jump, but he truly stretches his acting muscles here and is really trying to earn his due for a comeback. Now see, the difference between this plotline and that of a film like Donnie Brasco with Al Pacino and Johnny Depp many years ago is that the Snipes character is trying to go straight after a prison experience, but it's not so easy. And that's why that divides the loyalties of the Don Cheadle character. Now Sal, played by Ethan Hawke, normally plays likable characters, but in this film he's a man at the end of his pitiful rope. Life is really difficult as he lives in a shot run-down house with 7 kids and a pregnant wife with twins. Yeah. Oh boy, I know. And she is played by the always reliable Lily Taylor in a very good role. Now, the bottom line is, I like this movie. A lot. As a matter of fact, a lot more than you may think and that I thought I would. And while the response to this film has been pretty good generally from critics and viewers alike, for some reason I found a certain quality that I don't think anybody else is finding. I love the characters in this film. It's all because of its characters. This is the same team behind Training Day back in 2001, which won an Oscar for Denzel Washington and got a nomination for Ethan Hawke, who was in this film. Now, Hawke is amazing here and actually gives his best performance, I think, since that movie. And his dilemma is typical, yet it makes it more interesting than it looks on the surface. Now, Cheadle and Snipes are just fantastic together, as I said earlier, and I always knew Snipes had something like this in him, and he gives his best performance of his storied career. Gere, who normally would be considered, like I said earlier, to be too good looking for a role like this or whatever, really makes you believe in his character and truly embodies it in a way that he is very good at doing. Now, I know the film rating on Rotten Tomatoes for this film was about average, but this is the same website that gave Shakespeare in Love a 93% rating. The fact is, this is just one of those movies I cannot get enough of. Now, I may take more flack for this than my negativity review towards New Moon, my marginal recommendation for Transformers, the sequel I mean, or my love for every single one of the Pirates of the Caribbean films, but I'm going to do it. Yes, and before I do, I can understand why each and every one of you out there would probably disagree with me. But I give Brooklyn's Finest the perfect 5, because it's just one of those movies I got more from than most people.